In the context of this network or social networking, we are talking of privacy issues in social networking. It would make a great sense to really look at social networking issues of privacy in the context of overall privacy issues of marketing. Marketing is a very old discipline. People say it is as old as civilization. And therefore, privacy issues should have been relevant even in the past, not necessarily only in the new technology-driven era. So what could have been the issues of the past? Suppose there was a salesman who was going and selling something to a lady in a house. Would another lady getting to know of it be a very comfortable proposition? It's the same salesman. He's gone and sold something. And the first lady would think that this is my private property in my entire town, nobody has it. But the salesman capitalizes on this issue and goes and tells another lady as a reference, the first lady from your town has taken this product, why don't you also try? It's quite possible that the first lady might have felt cheated by this action. So privacy issues from the days of the starting of the civilization have been pretty relevant. Coming closer to today, let's say about 25-30 years ago, not as long as what we talked of era of civilization starting, there were something called as pupilometers and other kinds of meters which were put up in superstores and all these kinds of retail stores. People were not very comfortable with that. The reasons being, let's say I pick up a toilet soap X and then go on to pick up a shampoo and then go on to buy a pair of scissors. The person at the counter really knows if I do this after 3-4 times, every time I am following a particular sequence, he gets to know that I behave in a particular fashion. My behavior, which I thought was very, very original, now becomes stereotyped. And I don't like to be called a stereotype. I think that I'm a very creative person and I don't buy in the same sequence. But there are meters that measure how I buy, and at the end of it, try and declare to somebody else that I am very sequential and stereotypical. Now that disturbs the customer badly. The knowledge of it disturbs the customer badly. In fact, the customer may not know that she has bought it in that particular sequence over and over again, but somebody, even knowing it, is very uncomfortable to the customer who's bought that. There could be something else, the purchase sequence. First of the month, when I go to a retail store, I buy item A, B, C, D, E. 10th I go, I buy C, D, E, F. And 20th I go, I buy G and H. And if the price tags are different, the marketeer knows the pocket of the customer. I don't like the marketeer to know my pocket if I'm a customer. I feel very uncomfortable about it. So the purchase sequence, that is period 1, period 2, period 3, is revealing. It should never be. I don't like it. The purchase basket can also be very, very uncomfortable. That, let us say I am buying some very private products like condoms or pills for contraceptive pills or something of that sort. I wouldn't like anybody else to know. Because there's a barcode, I can just swipe and get up. And I don't want somebody to know that I've been buying, say, 3 packets a week and I'm really revealing. And tomorrow, if this comes to be known to some others, it's pretty embarrassing for me. I don't want that, know these things. Or let's say I'm buying a razor which was in the news for the wrong reasons. And somebody knows that, oh, you bought that razor? It's been wrong. It's been wrong and people have been wrong, doing all sorts of rubbish. I feel very embarrassed. I don't want anybody to know that. Or let's say in the Indian context, women buys pickles from a superstore every month. And another lady would go and say, oh, so you've been buying pickles every month? Don't you make any pickles at home? Now the lady feels very, very uncomfortable that what I do, I serve pickles, That's good, but not making pickles doesn't seem to be good with the women folk of this nation. So conventional marketing eras also has a lot of privacy concerns. Now let us come to more closer about 20 years ago when the net came on, and then we started really looking at issues of privacy. One of the major concerns when commercial transactions started being made, should I give my credit card number on the net? Are they going to judiciously use it? Are they going to flout the norms? I buy something for 1,000 rupees, will I eventually get only 1,000 rupees in my month-end bill, or will I get 10,000 rupees or 20,000 rupees or 30,000 rupees? There are instances where this particular issue has been misused. It's a privacy issue. It's a privacy issue. Then another one, which is again very similar to the older mail order privacy issues, which is true even of the networked environment, is will my details be given to somebody else? My personal details like my birthday, my marriage anniversary, or any of those things. I have not paid some loans to somebody. Will that also come? We are not very comfortable about the privacy issues in the context of certain things that happened about 20 years ago. You end up getting unsolicited calls because my address has been given, my telephone number has been passed on, so I'm getting unsolicited calls. It is equally true that in some levels of the market hierarchy, it is a status symbol to tell that I have received a call from somebody. In another level of the same society, it might be an intrusion talking about any unsolicited calls. So how do you really look at it with reference to privacy? Then when you talk of the contemporary dimensions, then we say that the social networking or current periods, the laws are inadequate because the geographical domain is unknown in most cases. You might, as the guy comes in, he might say that the geographical domain of the nation of origin will be taken into consideration, but nevertheless, in a global environment, that would not really suffice. The pace of change with which technology is changing today, which hasn't happened for 400 years, people say what hasn't happened for 400 years is happening in the last 40 years. Or if you bring it even down, you're saying that what happened in the last 10 years did not happen in the last 500 years. The pace of change is so heavy. Now who has to keep pace with the pace of change? Is it the marketer or the customer?